Hey everybody, this is Alan Quay with Reputech Software, and I want to go over something that is near and dear to me, and that is the psychology of social proof. And this is something that it's so important to have in your business to build your business, to attract customers, and to make more money. And I'm going to go over a little about the social proof, and I'm going to show you a real live example of one of our clients and how he's using social proof to improve their business. And basically, I took this information off of Wikipedia, but I'm going to read a little of it. It says social proof, also known as informational social influence, is a psychological and social phenomena where people assume the actions of others in an attempt to reflect the correct behavior in a given situation. Now, I'm going to read this last part again. People assume the actions of others in an people assume the actions of others in an attempt to reflect correct behavior in a given situation. I mean, that pretty much sums it all up there of what social proof is. People are looking to other people to see, is this the correct mode of behavior? Is this what I should be doing? And it goes on to explain a little bit about, the effects of social influence can be seen in the tendency of large groups to conform to the choices which are either correct or mistaken. This is referred in some publications as herd behavior. People are really like pack animals. I mean, it's built right into our DNA, and I'm going to explain a little of that later here. But we really follow what other people do, and this is why social proof is so important as a marketing principle. Now, I don't know if you've heard of this book, but it's a very popular book written by Robert Cialdini, and he's a professor of social studies. But he's basically wrote this book called Influence: The Psychology of Persuasion. It's a really good book. If you have a chance, I recommend going out and reading it. But he talks about the six principles of persuasion, and he talks a lot about social proof, and I'm going to go over a little bit about what he talks about, but also some interesting things about social proof. And this is mother's famous quote, and I'm sure you all have heard of this. And she would say, like, Johnny, would you jump off a bridge if all your friends jumped off a bridge, right? And she was sort of saying it in a negative way, because it looks like these guys are having a lot of fun here. So, heck yeah, I jump off a bridge. I mean, this looks like great fun. But basically, what your mother didn't know is she was evoking one of the major principles of social proof, and there lies the psychology of social proof in her statement. And earlier I said, this is all built into our DNA, because, as we were evolving as hunter gatherers, if you were like transported back into time, and say you were a female and you were going off with the other women collecting berries, and you found this really beautiful berry and you picked it and you were about to put it in your mouth, and all of a sudden one of the other women slapped it out of your hands and said, no, no, don't do this, because that berry could have killed you. You'd be very wise, and what you would probably do is watch what the other women are doing and taking their cues of what they're doing. And this is the basis of social proof. And with the guys, it's the same. It's sort of the same thing. They're out there hunting bison, and the smart ones are hiding behind the rocks with their bow and arrows, and maybe you don't know what you're doing. You're standing out there while the bison is like charging right at you, and one blow of that bison, and you're a goner. So it's so important, way back then, to pick up on the cues of your tribe, and what they're doing is what you want to do. This is so ingrained in us from evolution as we've grown, that it's just ingrained in our DNA, and this is the way that we just act. Um, and also, it just makes a lot of sense too if you think about it. To do what other people are doing. Of course, you always have to question, what's going on, but Today's a little bit different, and I'm going to show you this little map here of our evolution as we've grown up, and we've become a caveman, and now we've gotten smarter and smarter, and now we're like sitting behind a computer and all out of shape basically. But we're looking to the computer for our answers now, and we live in a high tech environment, and so but basically the same things that we did way back when we were evolving is the same sort of things that we're doing now. And this is what I'm sort of running home with the whole social media thing. I mean, the whole social proof. So, but today we're doing things a little bit differently. We're going online and we're reading about reviews. So, like before you go to an expensive restaurant and you're going to be spending a lot of money on that restaurant, what are you going to do? You're going to be going on Yelp, or you're going to go on TripAdvisor, and you're going to search and you're going to see what other people, or what the majority of other people are doing. I mean, this is human nature. This is like built into us to do. And because we want to make sure that if we're spending that kind of money, we want to make sure we're going to get the very best. And we're going to go to a top-notch restaurant. And it not only applies to restaurants, but also applies to services too. Anywhere from getting your car repaired to getting your your teeth worked on. You want to make sure that you're choosing the very best. And so if, like, say for instance, I was going to search for a dentist, and I want to make sure I'm going to choose a dentist with a 5-star reputation, with lots and lots of reviews. And I'm going to go in there, I'm going to read those reviews too, because I really want to see what people are saying. I want to see what their experience was, good and bad. And before I go and I go through all that pain, and I go through and spend all that money, I want to make sure that I'm going to choose the very best. And when it comes to a dentist, hopefully one that that has those pain-free principles. So basically, that's what people would do online when they're searching. And some of the sites that are very, very important are, and we tell all of our clients, is Google is, I think, the number one, and then Facebook. These are the two sites you really want to be on. And then if there's any industry sites that you may want to be on, like TripAdvisor, if you're a hotel, or if you're a restaurant, Yelp, you want to be on those sites that a lot of people are going to, so that you can build up those reviews. And you want to be able to do that with, and there's many ways to do that. And of course, with our clients, they use our software. It's a very, very easy way to stop negative reviews and to help build their positive online reviews and rating. But in talking about a client, I told you at the beginning, I was going to show you a real live example of how people will search your business out. Now, this business sells, our client sells used cars. So in this example, I'm going to put in used cars, Melbourne, Australia, because that's our client. Now, you can imagine how many car dealers there are in Australia, in a big city like Melbourne. And the reason why I say Google is so important to have the Google ratings is Google is tied into Google Maps. But also they're tied into the Google search. So search and maps are like almost 2 into 1. And this is why it's very, very important, because this is where people are going. Most people, and research shows this, most people will Google your business just like this, and they're going to look for your business. Now, what happens in Google, and this is the experience they're going to have, is it's going to pull up a map, because like I said, Google's very integrated. The search is integrated with Google Maps, and it's going to show and display 3 of the top businesses that Google wants you to go into. Now, this is our client right here in the number 1 position of what they call the 3-pack. This is really where you want to be. And our client got there because of all the positive reviews that they've gotten over a period of time. And these positive reviews are really rich content to Google. And Google will take this content, and it will rank you in the search results, and bring you up, raise you higher in the search results. So this is super important. And you can see how it's really helped our client here. Now, the search is also tied in with the organic listing. And if you scroll down, you can see Melbourne's Cheapest Cars has come in to the number 2 position in the organic search results. Because these two, the organic and the Google Maps in Google search, is tied right in together into this. It's so very, very closely related, basically. So the better you can do here, the better you're also going to do in bringing your website into that organic listing. Now, some people might not be, I mean, most people are going to click one of these three, or when they do, or if they want to find more people, they're going to click here where it says more places. Now, this will bring up in the Maps app in Google, and it's going to, whether it's on your phone or on a desktop like I'm showing you here, and it's going to show you the hundreds of used car dealers in Australia or in Melbourne. And so you can flip through here and see, like, if you were somebody looking here, what would you do? Here's somebody with a 4-star rating, our client, and they got over 1,000. By the way, my hat's off to our client here because they just broke a record of 1,000 reviews. In fact, we've helped them get over the most online reviews out of any, not just used car dealer, but new car dealer in Australia. So our client has the highest amount of ratings. And when they first started with us, they only had like a 2.6 rating. Now they've got a 4.1 and it's growing daily. And our goal, of course, is to get them to a 5-star rating. But if you were to flip through here and to find, like, search through here and to find, like, who would I go with? You know, you might go with Melbourne's Cheapest Cars, and you might go with Australian vehicle locators because they've got a pretty good star rating and they've got over 100 reviews. But as you're going down here, you may not want to choose this one because they got a 3.5 star rating, which people know, you know, they're not saying very good things about them. Now here's one that they're saying, you know, a lot of good. Let's see, find it here. Here's one that shows they're saying a lot of good things. I mean, they got a lot of reviews, but they're not saying very good things about them. And here's one where they're showing, we should flip it through here. Here's one where they've got a pretty good rating, but they don't have very many reviews. So you really, people are going to be looking at this and they're going to be choosing, they're not going to be choosing, you know, a company like this with like just a 3-star rating. And even though they have a lot of reviews, they're not going to choose a car like this, a company like this. They're going to choose, you know, a company like this or this. So it's very, very important to bring up your star rating through getting lots and lots of positive reviews. And that's going to help your social proof because, like I said earlier, people are like pack animals. They're going to be looking for the companies with the most reviews, and they're going to be looking for the company with the highest star rating. And they're going to be going into those reviews and reading it. So they're going to be like clicking into that company and they're going to be, you know, clicking in here and they're going to be wanting to read those reviews. And as you can see here, our client has got tons and tons of positive reviews. And you can go in there and see them, but they've like one after the other. And they might also search them through the most newest reviews. The same thing, they're going to search through here. And here's one with a negative review that they got. And this happens occasionally, and that's okay. The main thing is you want to have more positive reviews. And you can see this is just over the last week, you know, they're getting this. You want to have more positive reviews than negative ones. And like I said, if you get like, you know, an occasional negative review, that's fine. Because it makes your company look more real to have it. But you don't want to have, you know, have it tip the scale, so to speak. And so that's what our software is so good for, is doing that and building that social proof. If you haven't already started, we have a free trial. You can start our software if you like. It's a 15-day free trial, and the plans are very, very reasonable. You can, at the bottom of this, I'll have a link, you know, going to our website so you can go in and look at our pricing. But I think you'd be pretty happy to give it a go and to improve your online rating. And we're dedicated to helping you with that and getting you to that 5-star rating and getting you lots and lots of positive reviews on all the major review sites that you're being listed. So I want to thank you today for watching us, and hopefully this helps a little bit to explain the psychology of social proof and how it can help your business grow. Thanks a lot.